Welcome everybody to this quick lecture on crafting and using effective visual aids. In your persuasive speeches and in many, if not most presentations throughout your life, you're going to have some kind of visual aid to support or enhance your speeches and your presentations. You might have something that you bring physically that you hold up and show and then put back down again. Or more commonly, you will have PowerPoint slides or a quick video you want to share or an arresting image to really back up what you're saying. Some key points, though, is that you don't want your visual aids to be distracting or something that your audience is going to look at instead of paying attention to you and your message, because after all, you are the most important thing, as well as your message, not your visual aids. So thinking about your upcoming speech, what kind of visual aids can you present and create? I will walk you through that today. So take a look at the slideshow here. For my presentation today, I'll be reading my presentation slides word for word. That's meant to be funny or a joke because we call this death by PowerPoint. If you have all of your content on a PowerPoint slide, people are going to be reading the PowerPoint slide, not looking at you and listening to your message. And if it's all written on there and we're not getting anything from your presentation, you could have just sent it in an email, right? So we want to, first of all, avoid tons of text on our slides. And we want, again, our slides to enhance our message rather than detract from it. So let's take a look at some not so great examples. This is a real slide from United States Central Command, a government agency that presented this as part of a discussion of, oh, sorry, fire truck going by. Okay, my office is right by a busy road. So anyway, looking back at this presentation, I'm just going to let you look at it for a second, take it all in. I think you could stare at this for a while and not be able to interpret it entirely. There is so much going on between the tons of text, the key with the different shapes meaning different things, and then the colors that it's just going to be very difficult to interpret at a glance, no less looking at it for a long time. So think about how, if this was your information you had to present, maybe you could present this in a series of slides and first discuss what the colors mean, and then discuss what the shapes mean, and then talk about the kinds of civil conflict going on. All right, we just want our audience to be able to understand what's going on at a glance. So let me decrease your anxiety by showing you the next slide, which is a nice, clear graph that shows how product A, cat food, is doing better than product B, and how it's gone over the past years, and the percentage of people selling, or the percentage of the product selling. So this is easy to understand at a glance. There's only one major idea going on, and I can talk about and explain each part without doing mental gymnastics. All right, so aim for information simplified. Now, for your speeches, I'm not expecting a slick graph like this, but there are a lot of tools with presentation software that helps you quickly throw up a graph like this to present information. Or you can pull from existing information that's out there from some of your sources. You just have to give credit. So I got this graph from natureconservancy.org. They did a study of how many birds are ingesting trash that people are leaving at campsites. And here are the numbers broken down by the Nature Conservancy that I wanted to share with you. This graph is from 2023. All right, so you can share existing graphs or create your own. All right, moving on to a not so great presentation slide. Take a look. You can probably understand what's wrong with this. This is a slide that is supposed to show the different components of a car, including the chassis, the engine, the ignition, lubrication, cooling systems. It's just a ton of text, blah, and a pretty Ferrari in the background, but what does that really give us? Think how this information might be presented in a more cleaner way and in a more easy to understand and grasp way. Maybe bullet points. Yeah, you could have bullet points, but that's still a lot of text. Why not show me a diagram of the parts of a car, like looking down into a car? I bet you can Google that right away and find a diagram of a car with the different components. And then you talk about how they all work together, or how your company produces these different parts, and how one part relates to another in your informative or persuasive speech about the parts of a car. All right, so think about how you can present information in the easiest way possible and not overwhelm your audience. So I'm showing you this slide. It's a little boring, admittedly, but it really hyper focuses your audience on the key things you want them to take away from this slide. So our goal is to develop flexible and scalable solutions aimed at achieving your objectives. All right, and maybe instead of the puzzle piece, a picture here, you could have an image of your organization at work, or your subject doing something interesting. And notice the branding at the bottom left of the page. So you have very little real estate to work with on a slide. So make sure every item on your slide, whether it's an image or text or a title, is purposeful and communicative. And also notice the black text on a white background is easy to see. It's not yellow text on a green background or something like that. So also think about the color choices. My final note for you is to make sure, if you want to incorporate a video, it's got to be 30 seconds or less. You don't want to eat into the time that you have for your speech. So make sure your videos are really short, and understand that if you're introducing videos into your speech, you are introducing more chances for technical difficulties. If your sound doesn't work or the video doesn't want to play, you can test some of these items ahead of time in our classroom when you're ready to present. Or if you are presenting on Zoom, you will want to test your video and make sure that the sound is coming through by doing a test run, a recording of your presentation. But videos are welcome, as are images, and as are PowerPoint slides or other presentation slides. You'll want to upload all your materials to Canvas, whether it's week 15 or it might be a different week, depending on the school year, and always anticipate technical difficulties. Good luck. You can find more in the chapter in the textbook on visual aids, and I really look forward to seeing how you incorporate visual aids into your speeches. Thank you.